Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making chocolate crinkle cookies. For the flour, you're going to need about a half a cup of all-purpose flour, spooned and leveled. Then to add to that, in about 1 second, you're going to want to add about a 1/4 cup of Dutch processed cocoa powder. And then after that, you're going to want to add about a half a teaspoon, not tablespoon, teaspoon of baking powder. Yep, just add about a half a teaspoon of that. And then to add to that, you are going to have 1/4 of a teaspoon, not tablespoon, teaspoon of salt. And then to round that off, you're going to want to add half a teaspoon, not tablespoon again, of baking powder. Then you're just going to want to whisk that all together. And then it should look like, well, all that blended together, plus. Yeah, so mix that all together. And it should look like that. That is the dry ingredients. Now on to the wet ingredients. So you're gonna want to add about 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar. And yes, I do wash my hands after every ingredient used, or part used, I should say. I did this off to the side, but you're going to want to use or put in 1 large egg plus 1 large egg yolk. So just crack 1 egg and then crack another egg, but grab out the egg yolk. And then that is how you do that. And then add in about a half to 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then you're just going to want to mix that all together in a stand mixer or a paddle mixer or stand mixer or a hand mixer. And it should look like, wait for it. It should look like that. Okay, off to the side, you're gonna want to crush up about 2 ounces of unsweetened chocolate. Make sure you're pounding it in a sandwich bag. Make sure they are in fine little pieces. You're not going to use the other half or part of the chocolate bar, so you can just set that off to the side forever. And then you're going to want to mix that with about 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and then put that in the microwave for 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes are up. If it's way too warm, you can go over and grab an oven mitt and use that to take it out of the microwave. And it should look something like that, not like, it doesn't have to be fully melted. And then you're gonna wanna mix that together until it looks nice and shiny, or sort of like what's left to be. Okay, then you're gonna wanna add that to the wet ingredients. And then after you do that, you're gonna just wanna mix that together, like so. I'm sorry for all the sniffing and stuff. I just got over a really bad cold. Okay, it should look something like that after you mix up the unsweetened chocolate and unsalted butter with that. Then you're gonna wanna add about half of the dry ingredients into the mixture. Then add in the rest of the dry ingredients. Look just like that. Okay, and then off to the side in 2 different bowls, you're gonna wanna add 1/4 cup of powdered sugar and regular, just granulated sugar. Just add that 1/4 of a cup in 2 different bowls. Okay, and then we're just gonna assemble it. So have them in about 1 tablespoon size each. Rub them in the granulated sugar and then the powdered sugar for that little coaty extra like coat. And then place them in 3 rows with 3 in each row. Or depending on how big your pan is. Remember, making these or baking anything takes a while, so don't rush the process. And yeah. And if they are too big, you can always just take it apart or take a bit out of it and put it back into the bowl. Doesn't hurt it at all. And they can be a bit sticky, but just know that after you put them in the sugar, they should not be that sticky. Okay, set the oven to convect bake. Convect 325. So they should look something like that. Put them in the oven for about 9 to 11 minutes. Just remember 9 to 11, doesn't have to be 11. When they come out, they should look a bit like that. They should have cracks because they're called earthquake cookies. And that is them fully done. Please remember to like and subscribe because I do this all by myself. Thank you for watching. Bye.